Chris Dunn and Lamar Johnson, two St. Louis men sentenced to life in prison and later freed after the courts overturned their convictions. Tonight, another man on death row is fighting for his freedom. It is Marcellus Williams' last shot at proving his innocence. He has spent decades in prison after being convicted of killing a former newspaper reporter.
Williams' execution date is set for September 24th. Dion Broxton tells us what we expect to come up in court when he goes before a judge this week.
I believe that Marcellus has hope.
Michelle Smith is the co-director for Missourians to Abolish the Death Penalty. Her role led her to Marcellus Khalifa Williams, who sits on death row.
Me, anyway, I'm very nervous.
A St. Louis County court convicted Williams for the 1998 murder of former St. Louis Post-Dispatch reporter Felicia Gale in University City. He ended up getting the death sentence. University City police say that Gale was killed in her apartment near Trinity and Kingsbury 26 years ago. They say a jacket, laptop, and purse were missing at the time. No DNA evidence, only shaky eyewitness testimony placed the stolen items in Williams' possession. After years of legal battles, it appears the last battle is this Wednesday. St. Louis prosecuting attorney Wesley Bell requested an evidentiary hearing to prove Williams' innocence.
I believe that there is a risk of death to an innocent man.
The Missouri Supreme Court ruled Williams can be executed September 24th, leaving Williams' lawyers, the Missouri Attorney General's office, and the judge in this case with little time.
No, it's not enough time, but that's all you have. And I think they should move heaven and earth to try to get extension time so they can have a due process of this man's life.
Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey prolonged two other innocent cases this year, Sandra Hemme and Chris Dunn. Both eventually gained freedom. Those who support Williams expect Bailey to challenge the ruling if the judge rules in Williams' favor.
He can appeal it, but I believe the court will have good grounds to stay the execution, to stay it because of these processes going on.
Even after court, we don't believe Marcellus is going to just walk out.
The judge has to make a ruling before September 24th. Dion Broxton, First Alert 4.
First Alert 4 contacted the Missouri Attorney General's office for comment on this case, but didn't hear back in time for this story.